Hello everyone, this is Dr. Nirmala from the Wellberry. Today we have something very exciting planned, the recipe and preparation of Gongura chicken. Gongura is indigenous to Andhra cuisine, and there was a time when I thought in order to enjoy something made with Gongura, I have to go to the restaurant. But that's not true. It's actually quite easy to prepare. Gongura is called roselle in English, and in Tamil it's called pulchakire. That's because of the sourness of these leaves. However, there is a little bit of caution that I want to give you. If a person has irritable bowel syndrome, or if they are prone to having diarrhea when they eat leafy green vegetables, then it's better to avoid having anything with Gongura in it. Gongura is also not advised for women who are pregnant. Apart from that, Gongura is an excellent leafy green, and for people who are like me and enjoy something spicy and tangy with their meals, this dish will check all the right boxes. But before we get into it, let's talk a little bit about how we need to plan our meals if we are trying to overcome either obesity or diabetes or any other insulin resistance related disorder. As always, let me remind you that any dietary or lifestyle changes must be taken after consulting with a nutrition specialist or else with your physician. In my earlier videos, as all of you know, I have said that people with insulin resistance should say no to sugar and no to highly refined carbohydrates. When I speak to people who come to me for dietary advice, I see them shaking their heads when I tell them this, and then I see a question mark. Obviously, they're wondering, what will I eat then? It really isn't all that difficult if we apply ourselves and plan our meals properly. Let me help refresh your memory and explain once again how insulin works. Whenever we eat food, insulin is released in our body. And the more carbohydrate rich and sugar rich our foods are, the more insulin is released. When insulin is not working properly, it's not able to push the carbohydrates that we eat into our cells, and hence the carbohydrates are not being used for energy. So what happens? The carbohydrates are then sucked up by the fat cells, which act like a sponge, and these fat cells expand, and with that starts the problem of being overweight, diabetes, high cholesterol, even fatty liver. It's like this. Suppose we are expecting somebody very close to us to visit us, and they come bearing gifts. So we are all excited and we want to open the gifts as soon as possible. But when we do open that box, what we find is a sweater that's way too big for us and not in a color that we like. So what do we do with that sweater? It's somebody who we are close to, so we are not going to give it away. Instead, what we tend to do is to fold it up and keep it in the cupboard, and we think, okay, maybe I'll use it later. This is the same thing that our body does when we eat foods that are not actually nutrient dense. That means they don't have vitamins, they don't have minerals, they don't even have the good kinds of carbohydrate in it. The body eagerly receives this food, but when it actually receives the food, since there is no nutrition in it, it's just calories. What the body says is, okay, there's energy here, there's no nutrition. So what I'm going to do is push all of these calories into the fat cells. And maybe later on, I'll use it. The next question is, why do we eat? We eat, of course, because we are hungry. Our body gives us signals that we are low in energy, and hence there's hunger, and we need to fill our body with nutrients. That's why we eat. But what we eat is very important, especially when there is a hormonal imbalance in the body. For a person who is insulin resistant, it is very important that we don't keep burdening our body with excessive refined carbohydrates, which our body is not able to process. What we need to know is that our bodies are very capable of manufacturing its own sugar for the various needs that it has. Our bodies can convert proteins into carbohydrates. It can also get carbohydrates from vegetables that we eat. Proteins are very essential, especially for our bones, our muscles, our hair, our teeth, our nails. In fact, when we don't eat enough protein, one of the first things that will happen is that we lose hair. Another thing that's equally important is vegetables, because vegetables are a very rich source of minerals like magnesium, potassium, calcium. They are also very high in fiber. And fiber is important because it helps to keep us full. It provides nutrition for the good bacteria in our intestines, and it also helps to release sugar very slowly into the blood. The other major ingredient that we need to have is good fats. By good fats, I mean ghee, coconut oil, butter, because all of us are used to eating rice or rotis or bread. We need to learn how to make the low carbohydrate varieties of these foods. I know that I've taken a little bit of your time to explain how we need to plan our meals and why we need to plan it accordingly. And now, without further delay, let's go on to the gongura chicken. version of Gongura chicken. In the description area below, I have shared the link of the blog from where I got this recipe, and I've modified it a little bit to suit my tastes. I hope you try it out and do let me know what you think about it. I'd love to read your comments. And just a few days back, somebody sent me a photo of the coconut latte that they made. Like I said, this kind of feedback really gets me excited, and it's encouraging to keep putting out videos so that people can continue to educate themselves and overcome the various health issues that they're dealing with. Until next week, this is Dr. Nirmala signing off. And remember, wellness begins with your plate.